Welcome everyone to episode 506 Aussie Tech Heads. This is for the week the 20th, starting from the 20th of October 2016. So it is starting from, because I want you guys to be able to know that the next 7 days, this is the most relevant podcast for you to listen to. So from the week starting the 20th of October. So you got that? All right. So we're going to tell you about all the latest news and, our views from the week of the tech news that have sort of sparked our keen little eyes anyway. So let's get straight into it. We're going to get around the grounds and see who's on the panel tonight, because it's it's a normal sized panel. So we've got Warlock. How you doing, Warlock?
I'm anything but normal size. Speak for yourself.
All right. So how you been going? All right?
Yeah, pretty good.
That's good. Good stuff. And down in Sydney, Eric, how you doing?
I'm very normal, thank you, Glenn.
Very good. Now, look, I've pre-warned everyone. Eric reckons he's going to go on a rant tonight. So
No. Don't G up the listeners. No. But yes, he's right. I will have some comments about Apple and Cookie Monster.
I went to the Apple store not long ago. And what was my experience like? Yeah, it's not too bad. All right. So, yes, don't forget the Aussie Tech.
Thanks for that. Okay, move on.
Was it? Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I went to the Apple store once too. It was all right.
We'll get back into that. Look, I've just been distracted. There's the dog's mucking around at my feet. That's just distracting me a bit tonight. But anyway, I'll kick it in the guts and we'll keep going. Okay, TuneIn Radio. You can find the Aussie Tech Radio there. It's cross-platform. Just load up the TuneIn Radio app and search for Aussie Tech Radio. Wall-to-wall, 24/7 podcasts. So new ones go up every Friday. You can join us at facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads and youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads. All right, let's see where we're going to start off at. I don't know. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start, Eric? Let's see.
I'll start.
Let's hear what you've got to say.
I'll start with my little Apple story.
I'll
Not the one that's on the show notes, just my what happened to my MacBook Pro during the week.
Oh, okay. What's happened to it?
Well, it's ruined.
Oh, why?
So, next story.
Didn't you break your Windows devices last week? This week you're going for the Mac, are you?
No, but last week Windows was a software issue, which I fixed. This week, hardware issue, which I am getting fixed, which insurance might pay for. We'll see what happens.
Oh, what did you do to it?
Well, during the week, out on our back deck, there's a roof, right? Normal roof.
Mm-hmm.
And I left my computer out there overnight, because I go out there in the morning and have breakfast, right? And have my coffee and my whatever.
Yep.
And I'm on my computer checking emails or whatnot. So, and I finished that up and I left it there during the day. And I forgot it there the whole day. It was outside the whole day. But it's covered, right?
Mm.
But it rained that night. And I woke up in the morning going, it rained last night. And I saw the computer. I thought, that is fine. Nothing will happen. Because and I looked at it and it wasn't wet on the top.
Right.
What had happened was there's a drip on the ceiling, which I didn't know about. And because the table was just on that right angle, it was dripping up the table, but it was dribbling down underneath my laptop.
Right.
Oh,
right.
And it pooled so much that it actually lifted and it went into the vents on the side.
Oh, so it was floating.
No, it wasn't floating, but the
water went
because
inside.
It gathered.
It up.
Yeah,
it gathered,
okay.
Like a dam effect, if you like.
Mm.
And it went into the slots. So I went, oh, Christ. So I opened it up and it worked. I thought, oh, sweet. And then my youngest said, Dad, can I use your computer? I've got to look something up. I said, yeah, no problem. Go and get it. And nothing. All I got was a folder with a question mark flashing.
Right.
So I looked it up and it said, either your logic board's gone or your hard drive's gone.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, normally it'll be the logic board with water, because a hard drive's usually encased and, it's probably okay. So I went to the Apple store today. It's out of warranty, as usual, plus water damage isn't covered.
Yeah.
So they said, all right, let's have a look, open it up. They went out the back, opened it up, and goes, well, we can't tell if your hard drive's damaged. But so he took it out and gave it to me. Said, if you can get this in an enclosure and plug it in, you'll probably, if you can see it, then it's probably fine.
Yeah.
But your logic board was soaking wet. So I said, all right, okay. Good.
So
So, okay, what's damage?
Yeah.
They wanted to sell me a hard drive as well, for SSD, to replace my one.
7,000.
$1,250, right? For a 500 gig SSD. I said, no, that's not going to happen. The logic board was $750.
Oh, dear.
Right, so all up to fix the thing was $1,900. I might as well have just dropped it from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Dropped it out of my car, rang up the insurance company, said, sorry, dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Paid $100 excess.
So really, So Apple doesn't really want to get these things fixed. They don't want to fix them. They just want to sell you another one.
No, they don't mind. They don't mind. Yeah, they would prefer to sell you another one. But he said if your insurance covers it, they'll pay you the equivalent of the repair bill. So if it's $1,900, the insurance company will pay me $1,900.
So
and then if there's any difference to make up, I'll make it up.
Is that something you can get on insurance?
Well, I rang them this afternoon, and I stupidly told them it was water damage. And he said, well, with water damage, you're covered, but up to $1,000
Right.
only.
So you can get it up to 1,000.
Yeah,
Half price.
so they said, excuse me, if I'd smashed it, they would have covered the whole thing if I'd dropped it.
Couldn't you
Right.
get the logic board done for $900
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
and go and buy your own $50 SSD from somewhere? Or
Hang on.
what would they cost you? 150, 200 maybe?
For what?
The SSD, like from
No, $500. Dollar a
from-
gig, basically.
not from
$1 a
Apple,
gig.
but from somewhere else.
Not from Apple, somewhere else. I've already ordered it
From somewhere else.
from somewhere else, yeah.
Well, how much?
So I will get, that was for $500.
Right.
But I ordered, they also gave me, because they've got, the new MacBooks have got the different screws in the back, and I've got all these bloody torque screw things and everything, and the new Mac's completely different torque screws. So thanks a lot for that.
Yeah. Yeah. They love it.
I ordered it from Mac Fix It,
Yeah.
and they get their stuff from Mac Sales in the States. So I ordered a drive, an enclosure, so I can put my SSD drive in it, and the torque screws came together all together, $600, right? So I thought, okay, fine. So I'll get the logic board fixed for $750, and I'll get them to reimburse me $250 for this stuff. So I'll be out of pocket a couple of $100.
What's the whatchamacallit? The not the premium, the excess.
Access.
$100.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, right. So have you tried to plug the drive in to see if you can get the?
Well, I haven't got it yet. I only ordered it today. Probably
No, but
come,
the old
you know.
drive to see if you can get the data off it.
He hasn't got the enclosure.
Well, I haven't got the enclosure.
Right. Okay. All right. Well,
I've got to get the enclosure for the drive.
well, that's no good. I don't know. You won't be leaving it outside
Yeah, I know.
again.
It's one expense after another.
So you didn't want to hang out for the supposedly new MacBooks that are coming?
Well, funny you say that, because I just the other day, because this happened on the weekend. I've only had a chance to see the Apple Store today because they were all fully booked. Plus, I didn't have the time. But during the week, I saw that article. I think I emailed it to you.
Yep.
Right. And I saw that, and so this is a good segue. Let's go to that. What the supposed MacBook Pros are going to be like. And when I read this, I thought, no way. I would rather just get mine fixed, because what they want to do with this is,
I can't believe that this is the MacBook. Is it the MacBook Pro that hasn't had an update since 2012?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, 2014.
Well, what's the one
2014.
since 2012 I was reading about?
Retina MacBook Pro in 2012 and the 5K iMac in 2014.
Right. So the Retina machine.
The first Retina was 2012. They came up with the same Retina style, but with a different processor in 2014 for the MacBook Pro. But everything else was the same. I think they just upgraded their processor.
Right.
But nothing else had changed. So on this new ones, what they're saying is here, they're going to do away with USB ports completely, HDMI ports completely,
Well,
SD card slots completely, and they're going to have 4 USB-C ports, and then you've got to buy adapters if you want to plug in HDMI,
right.
all this sort of stuff. So they're going the way of the phone. One plug, everything goes in.
Look, I could
And
probably...
when I read that, I thought,
Yeah, look, I can probably see that. Look, it's probably somewhat advantageous like for real estate wise in the actual computer to have, say, a couple of USB C ports, and so therefore that's all you have, and you get an adapter to plug into them depending on what you want to do. I can see
the problem is though, if you've got one port and everything, you're always jamming stuff in there, pulling, that it wears her out. And
True.
Eventually, if you've only got one USB port, suddenly your computer, you can't do anything.
But the thing that's wrong with when Apple do something like this, I think, is that they'll make it so you have to buy their adapter, which is
exactly
what, $50
because
or
they've got the firmware on the adapters that only work with their all this sort of stuff, like their lightning cables, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the third party are already bringing out adapters that you can plug USB, HDMI, and stuff into.
Yeah.
Well, if it's got the proper, whatever that Apple
you have to be a licensed
then
partner.
I'll be fine with that. But see, the thing is, they're on this crusade to be thinner. Everything's going to be thinner. The next laptop's going to be like this, mate.
Well, they reckon that you could fit that into an envelope. Into
you can.
Yeah, I remember there was a reviewer in the US who put his Air on top of a pile of newspapers, and then he chucked the newspaper on top, and his wife went and chucked all the newspapers in the recycle bin because she didn't know there was an Air in there. And it got taken away by the garbage truck.
That's gone.
Yeah, that's finished.
So I'm a bit concerned about that because they're just going on this crusade, thinner. The other thing they want to do is, I don't know why they just don't go touchscreen full on. All the F keys are going to go on the keyboard, and on the bottom of the screen, it's going to have the touch F keys.
Right.
So just on the bottom. But the rest of the screen you can't touch. What is the point of that?
So
if you're going to make it touch, make it touch.
So, okay, because I thought I was reading that it was going to be a touch screen, but you don't think it is?
Only for the bottom. Only for the bottom.
Just for the bottom, it says.
Just for the F keys.
Wow.
Which is pointless. You go to all that trouble developing a touchscreen. I'm sure it'll be a beautiful touchscreen because they're going to use a similar technology to the iPad. But then they're only going to make it work down the bottom.
Wow.
They're going to make it like programmable OLED keys. So when you run Photoshop, it'll have a pair of scissors drawn on the key for cut, a pair of scissors for a picture of a pot of paste for paste something, and all of that.
Yeah. I don't know why. You should be able to be able to touch the photo wherever you want it. Or do a right click on it and okay, I want to trim that, instead of just putting your mouse up here and then touching the screen at the same time in order to cut or paste. It's just.
What do you?
It just frustrates the hell out of me.
Why do you think you'd have to call it an opposition? Why do you think they've got an opposition for a touchscreen? Is it too expensive?
No, I don't know. I really don't know. I can't answer that. I wish I knew the answer to that. I just don't know why they're so scared of putting touchscreen on their laptops.
Do you think?
Well, maybe because they think it's gonna bastardize their iPad sales.
I was just going to say that. I was going to say, do you think it would make it too close to the iPad? Yeah, but look, something that you might find interesting, as I did, and I can show the people on the video. There's this thing called a Sonder keyboard, and it's from an Australian startup. And Tim Cook's it's tickled his fancy. The Apple have teamed up with these guys, and they're saying goodbye QWERTY keyboard. So what this keyboard is, this is just such a great idea. It's a keyboard that has programmable keys. So it's like the e-ink on each key. So you can put whatever you want.
So you can nominate the letters on each key, basically.
Yeah, and so like an international language. So you've got one keyboard, and you can have whatever language you want on it. You can have emojis. You can have whatever you want, whatever you use the most. If you got a key,
well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But I think most people will stick to the QWERTY keyboard as far as English language goes. They might reprogram the F keys to have emojis and other things.
Well, that's right. Yeah,
but it's a good idea because if you're a Chinese, you go right. Well, that key will be that. That key will be this. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So look,
it's a bit strange though, because in 2011 Optimus brought out a keyboard that did exactly that.
But I think
Oh, they'll be suing Apple now.
No, well, wasn't that one? Well, I'll keep going with this because I think maybe we can say why your mob didn't go through with it. But anyway, Tim Cook, he's liked the idea, and he said, okay, he's going to make this available for the Apple MacBook laptops. So there'll be a standard feature on MacBook laptops from 2018.
Okay, so a couple of years.
Yeah. So the keyboard technology has been developed by the Sondar Design Proprietary Limited, which is an Australian startup backed by Foxconn. The keyboards will use the e-ink displays like those seen on the Kindles, and you know what e-ink is. Everyone knows what e-ink is. Although the Apple keyboard would be a standard feature, it's likely to hold added appeal to those who frequently type in more than one language, blah, blah, blah. For everyday users, the keyboard would also make it easy for people to spice up their communications with emojis and symbolic substitutes for words, which has gained widespread popularity through, all the use of smartphones and social media and all that sort of stuff.
Well, to me, if someone's going to send me an email and it's full of emojis, I'm going to delete it. Send me a text message I'm okay with because I know what you're getting at. It's short, you're on the run, you got to make it quick. I get that. But if you're in front of your keyboard and you write, I bought a new, and there's an emoji of a car, and I went for a drive too, and there's bushes and trees, the countryside, yes. And then, and I took my girlfriend with me, and there's an emoji of a bird instead of girlfriend, then I will delete that photo or send it back to him and say, learn to speak English or I'm unfriending you, you moron.
Now this keyboard, it's available for pre-order at $199 US. Now I think
that'll be 400 Australian. Thanks.
Oh, wait till Apple get their account and bean counters onto it. Oh
yes, got to get their Apple tax on that.
It'll be $5.99. So
$5.99.
So now I think whoever Warlock just said came out with one a couple of years ago. Apparently, yes, there has been others, but they've been like above the $1,000 mark. So I'd probably suggest that's probably why they haven't gained traction. But for whatever, who knows how they've made these ones.
They needed a backer. The only way you can get the price down is you need a backer. Someone that's willing to distribute it throughout their stores like Apple.
Yeah. So there you go. So look, if you want to have a look at that keyboard, go to sonderdesign.com. There's the app in the show notes. You can find links to there. Look, it looks good. So realistically, Australian, that's probably going to be about, what, $260? Something like that.
Is it going to be with all MacBook Pros or just the standalone keyboards?
The article just says it's going to be the new keyboard will be standard feature on MacBook laptops.
Okay, MacBook Pros basically.
I can't see.
And MacBook laptop.
Yeah, I can't. If you look at the keyboard,
it'll probably come programmed to be your default. So if you're shipping to Italy, it'll be default keyboard in Italian. If you're shipping it to Abu Dhabi, it'll be default in Arabic, that sort of stuff.
But I'd say what I think is, so why would they, if they're going to be punching these out next year, 2018, why are they going to so much trouble with, the touchscreen first half of the screen for your F keys?
Don't know.
Maybe this keyboard come along
Apple
later.
Apple have got a habit of coming out with something and then holding back. They go, this is the perfect laptop. We want to build the perfect laptop. And they do. They design, they build, got the best keyboard, the best screen, the best thing. And they go, right, now chop the features in half and that's the one we're going to sell. Because they always hold back. So you keep upgrading and you keep buying.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's my little keyboard story anyway, which I thought was...
Well, I'm not happy about their new laptop, so I'm not buying one of those either, and I'm not buying a iPhone 7. So how much money have you lost from me so far, Apple?
But were you going to be buying one, though? Were you unhappy with what you had? Were you upgrading?
I was going to upgrade my phone. I was due. It's been 2 years. I was out of contract, and I was ready to go.
So you got a 6? I
had a 6. That's right, not a 6S.
Right. So
even my daughter, who's right into tech, right, and she's got the 6. She's got the 6 as well because she got hers at the same time I got mine. And she said to me, Dad, don't upgrade my phone this year. I don't want the 7. That's a piece of garbage.
Right.
And that's coming from a 17-year-old who loves technology.
But the thing, where do you go?
Don't bother.
You can't get a Note 7. Where do you go?
Well, this is it. The app. That's what
Google
Apple are counting
Pixel
on.
Phone.
The where,
Pixel
Jace?
phone. That's you're right. That's where everyone's doing.
The what?
The Google phone.
Pixel.
Right.
Yep. Look it up. It's a good looking phone.
Yeah, okay, good.
I got some info about it too.
Oh, do tell.
Good.
What a segue.
Yes.
Google's first smartphone looks like a sophisticated marriage of metal and glass, and it is, but it's also a maze of useful features, shortcuts, and extras not listed in any manual. Fastest phone check ever. This phone will show you what's going on in record time without even touching its screen. It's one of the best features. Just tap and swipe down on its rear fingerprint sensor and you'll unlock the phone. Turn on its screen and reveal your notifications at once. It sounds simple, but it's true time saver and genuinely addictive. You must enable this feature in the Moves menu to get it working. Taking trivia. Google's assistant knows things and can test whether you know them too. For fun, ask the assistant to play lucky trivia, as in I'm feeling lucky, like their Google search, and you'll be asked to answer 5 trivia questions with a game show styling. Instant photo. Well, it's not instant, but fast. The impressive camera in this phone opens fastest when you double-click its on button. Simple when you know about it. Hidden shortcuts. It's not just the phone with hidden shortcuts, but many of the apps too. Hold your finger on an app and, if enabled, it'll display extra options. Long pressing the camera app, for example, gives quick access to selfie and video modes. Keep a finger on the Maps app and you quickly navigate to your saved locations like work or home. Third parties like Evernote and LinkedIn are rolling out these additions too, and yes, it works just like Apple's 3D Touch. Less hidden shortcuts. If you want to make shortcuts easier access, you can drag them to the home screen's permanent edition. Real-life GIFs. Like other cameras, the Pixel camera has a burst mode. Hold down the shutter button, it'll snap photos in quick succession. Unlike other cameras, a Pixel camera not only saves the photos individually, but turns them into a separate animated GIF. The phone has real GIF underbelly. They're even hidden in the default keyboard. In a supported app, you can tap on the emoji option, select GIF icon, and you'll find popular animated photos organised by category. Your messaging feed may never look the same. Photo tweaks. Don't be put off by Pixel camera's lack of a pro setting. You're just in it by default. You can hold a finger on the screen to fix its focus. After you set the focus, you can tap the exposure compensation slider to change the brightness of a scene, and there's a dedicated icon for white balance. Selfie Smart, a swift and stealthy switch into selfie mode is easy on this phone, and with the camera app, flick your hand around twice to swap to the front camera. So just hold the phone, go, and it switches cameras. The Pixel isn't the first Android phone to do it, but it's super handy. Smart storage. The phone comes with unlimited storage for photos and videos you capture with it. This is particularly useful if you regret buying the 32 gig version and need to clear out some images. If you enable smart storage, it will remove backed up photos and videos from the device automatically when you're close to running out of space. Go to bed reminders. 2 important settings can remind you to stop playing with your Pixel and get some sleep. The first is night light that acts as a blue light filter on your screen, and the second is priority notifications. It stops all but important beeps, like your alarm or phone calls from nominated contacts disturbing you. You can set them to automatically start and stop on a schedule. Just be quiet. If you need a break from your phone beeps and rings, you can set the Do Not Disturb feature to block everything for just an hour. It's accessible from the drop-down menu and useful in meetings and movies. And this is not your only guide. Google has gone all out in terms of support for this phone. If you want help with your Pixel phone, you can access an expert by tapping the prominent support tab in the settings menu and ordering a phone call. There's also a chat option if you prefer text.
That's got to cost money, though, hasn't it?
Nope, same as an iPhone.
Oh, right.
Just
Google's been doing that on Hangouts for a while. It had a support thing.
Live?
Have they? Live support.
They had a whole system where anybody could do live support for anybody in the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
But on the Amazon Kindle and that, they've got a support button and you press it and one of the Amazon technicians or CSRs will call you back through.
It's funny that Apple don't do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
They would have a button there, just ring support, bang.
What do you reckon?
Or text support.
What do you reckon these Pixels are worth? Anyway.
Well, are you talking on a plan? But $95 a month, same as the iPhone 7.
No, well, I was just talking outright. If you knew, I didn't know if you knew.
No idea.
Yeah, they do look pretty good. Then
the Google Pixel range starts at $1,079 for the 5-inch Pixel with 32 gig and $1,229 for the 128 gig version.
Right, so that's our Apple's iPhone 7 territory.
Yep,
pretty much.
And a 3.5-inch headphone jack.
Yeah,
and a normal headphone jack, exactly.
3.5-inch, 3.5.
You don't have to drill it yourself, right, Glenn?
That's right.
Well, they've got to be careful. Apple. They're getting a bit too cocky, a little bit too. Hey, we're cool enough to do whatever we want.
We did it with the disk drive. We did it with the CD-ROM. Now we're going to do it with everything.
Look, I don't mind the disk drive thing because no one was using it. You know how when you get rid of something like the buggy whip, you look around and you think, well, there's only 1 in 100 people using the buggy whip. If I get rid of it, no one's going to notice. And that's pretty much what happened with the disk drive. No one was using it because CDs were coming up, blah, blah, blah. But they've got rid of the headphone where when you walk down the street in any city, everyone's got them in their ears. You don't get rid of something that people are still using.
And none of us are going to walk around with those earpod things stuck in their
That's
head.
right. Well, even my daughter said, I don't want to look like an idiot walking around with a couple of things sticking out of my ears. Looks like I've got an infection.
I would have one of the Paltronic ones that go around the back of your head. And hold them like that.
Yes.
Now, but not just...
Not the little bloody Star Trek thingies.
What does Apple got to,
yes.
What does Apple got to do, Eric, for you to change to a Pixel? What
do they got to do?
How long is it going to be?
I'll tell you what. If by the time, if they don't wake up to themselves by the time they release the iPhone 8, and if at that time I can't get hold of a 6S, because I won't go to the 7, and just say in a year and a half time,
you can't go to a 6S.
iPhone 8 comes out.
Yeah.
And I think, right, still not getting it, but I need a new phone. I'm going to go get a 6S, and they go, sorry, not available, or it's only available in 16 gigs or some 4 gigs or some ridiculous thing. I'll go get a Pixel.
Well, there you go. So
you heard it here first, folks.
That's right.
No, I hate to say it. I prefer to stay with iPhone, but I'm not going to walk around with an adapter hanging out of the phone that's this big, and then I've got to put this thing into that. You know how that's just going to, before you know it, the lightning connector's busted and I can't even charge my phone, let alone listen to music.
Would it be better if they had a wireless adapter that you just put in your pocket and then you still had the normal headphones? You know what I mean? So you could put the...
If those two headphones that Warlock's talk about earlier, the ones that dropped down here, if they were joined like this, right, and the little wireless receiver was here, I'd have no problem.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
Because then you could, if it fell, you'd know. You could go, oh, there it goes, and you could catch it.
Yeah.
Grab onto something.
Well, you
were jogging, and this one falls out. You got no hope in hell of finding it.
No, they should have little GPS homing things in it. But
well, they probably
start
will
beeping and flashing.
But that'll be another $450, $599.
But the Google Pixel now, look, is this a shift from, is Samsung gonna? Well, they're losing what, $3 billion in their woes from the Note 7. It's that's so bad. They've established customer service points in Qantas, Virgin, and Jetstar terminals at the domestic and international airport at Sydney. Now, similar booths have been. So what you can do is you can take your Note 7 in, they'll swap it over for you, which is, I don't know how.
Swap it over for what? Another Note 7 that'll explode.
They back up your data.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know how successful and how willing people are going to be because but everything's sort of Google clouded, isn't it, Jace?
Most
these
of it,
days, like the iCloud.
So.
Yeah. So similar booths have been set up in the international terminal at Qantas and Virgin Domestic at Melbourne's Tullamarine, the same at Perth, and at both domestic and international at Brisbane. So they're spending a bit of money, aren't they? Canberra, Adelaide.
People don't want a Note
Australia.
7. They don't want a Note 7. They don't want an iPhone 7.
That's right. 7's not a lucky number this year, is it?
No, it's definitely not. So the Canberra, Adelaide, Gold Coast...
The thing is, you know what is lucky for Apple? I reckon their sales have been... I was going to say that terrible word, Schweppes. I reckon their sales have been pretty rubbishy for the iPhone 7.
Hang on, hold that thought.
And then suddenly...
Can you hold that thought?
What's that?
Hold that thought.
I'm holding it.
Because...
Going to burst.
That's okay. No, I thought we were going to get interrupted.
Right.
Continue. Sorry.
I reckon that their sales have been rubbishy, but they'll never say anything, or they'll manipulate it at the next, next reporting season. But then, as luck would have it, the Samsung Note 7 starts exploding, and everyone's going, well, what am I going to buy now? the only choice I've got is the iPhone 7. And suddenly their sales have popped up through no clever marketing of their own. It's complete luck
Well,
that people have...
Watch out for them Daleks, Glenn.
Yeah, that was my phone. Someone sent me a message. So it'll go off again in a minute. Hang on a second. I'll have to read it. So
I just changed my ringtone to one of the songs that was featured on Mr. Robot Season 2. Love it. Great.
I got my latest.
You watching it?
My latest ringtone is the Hawaii 5-0 theme tune. Okay.
Did you watch Mr. Robot yet?
Not all of it. No, probably
Catch
up about episode 5 or 6.
We're nearly over halfway through Season 2.
Oh, nice. I just don't get time. Anyway, there's another story. But, yeah, I'm going to have another look at this Google Pixel next time I'm going to go. It sounds good. Like, I know, you're swapping platforms and all this sort of stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to wait till that happens.
They've all got applications that'll transfer your data from one to the other, and a lot of the apps are free.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I've switched between platforms left, right, and centre all the time with no problems.
Yeah, okay. But what about...
Yeah, if it's done properly and done by someone who knows what they're doing, it's relatively
All
simple.
my calendar contacts and everything is synchronised to my Gmail account.
Yes.
All my mail's in Gmail.
Yeah,
So you just get another phone, whether it's the Apple one or whether it's the Google one, and just log into your Gmail account and log into your Google Calendar on both, and you're connected.
It seems to me that the Google apps, even for the iPhone, they seem to, although they probably don't work as well as they do on a Google phone or on an Android phone.
That's right, yeah.
They just seem to be, they want to be more inclusive or more about you, if you know what I mean. Like, they're just about more helpful rather than the Apple's just not there yet. But anyway, look, a survey's come out, and it has been shown that Microsoft employees are now happier than Apple's employees.
No surprises there.
So
they all bought Apple phones?
They might have.
They've probably got iPhones in their back pockets.
Bill Gates famously wouldn't let anyone buy any iPhones or take to his events, so now they're allowed to.
So did he even draw the line at the iPod, so everyone had to have a Zune? You reckon?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because you saw, didn't they have a conference or something where he saw one of the people in the audience with an iPhone and he picked it up and stomped on it? Was that
Steve Ballmer?
Ballmer, yeah.
Oh, classic. I miss Steve Ballmer.
But you know that Tim Cook is the Steve Ballmer of Apple.
They need somebody more.
But because you had Bill Gates, who, even though he's not as out there as Steve Jobs was, but he had a brain and he was quite visionary and everyone liked him. He was a good leader. And then you hand it off to your right-hand man thinking he'd be the right guy, and that was Steve Ballmer. 10 years he was there and it didn't work. Their stock price was $25 for 10 years while Steve Ballmer was there. As soon as he's left, it's doubled to 50.
Yeah,
right? Because this new guy has gone, right, we're going to have this sort of office product, we're going to have online, we're going to have this, we're going to have... And Steve Ballmer didn't want to do any of that. Yeah. Now, Tim Cook is doing exactly the same thing. They handed off to the right-hand man, but he wasn't the right guy, and he'll be there. He's 5 years now, and now it's starting to come out. Apple employees are not as happy as they used to be. Microsoft employees are happier.
So next iPhone's not as good as the last one.
Yeah,
no,
well, Microsoft...
He hasn't come out with anything. Steve Ballmer did not innovate at all in 10 years, and that's why the share price was flat. And Apple have not innovated in 5.
He just had penises thrown at him. Something...
Yeah.
What?
But it was the funniest thing.
We did that on this show.
Yeah, someone had tied a rubber penis to a fishing line or something, and then dangled it in front of him while he was speaking.
Dangled in front of who?
Steve,
Ballmer.
Are you kidding? We've talked about this.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard this.
Oh, have a look at it. So
you should watch our shows.
Yeah, and he jumps up and tries to grab it and everything. It's so funny. As I miss old Steve, he had a few laughs in him. It was
Maybe
good.
they should have dangled that in front of somebody else.
Well, I was going to go there, but I left it out.
No, I'm not going there because you can't do that because they'll shut you down. You can't make funny jokes about that community because nothing's funny.
Microsoft
No sense of humour.
approval rating so far for 2016 was 10% above the industry average, beating out Apple for the first time. Oh.
You're going to say it was 10% total.
Now, business.
But the rot is starting. The rot has started. He got rid of so many good people when he started there. Scott Forstall, all these designers went. Johnny Ives is sitting in a white room by himself now because there's nobody there anymore.
No, that's right. Business Insider reported that Microsoft had a massive improvement in chief executive approval since Satya Nadella took over in 2014. By the end of 2013, former chief executive Steve Ballmer had just 51% approval compared to 88 for Nadella at the end of last year. So, yeah, Microsoft threw out its...
He's a good operator.
Microsoft threw out its controversial stack ranking system, which forced managers to rank each of their employees from top to bottom. That's a good way. Good to get the morale.
We had something worse when I was at EDS. It was a bell curve.
Right.
So, say you got 10 guys. Didn't matter how hard everybody worked. There had to be at least 2 people who didn't meet expectations.
Yes.
2 people who exceeded expectations.
That's right.
Yeah.
And everybody else was in the middle. So if you had 4 guys who worked exceptionally well, only 2 of them could be marked as exceeding expectation. The other 2's like, well, you just missed out. I mean, you worked your ass off.
That is so subjective, it's ridiculous.
And too many people are just like, well, what's the point of overexerting because there's too many people to fit the bell curve. So the 50-50 chance you're going to miss out, you might as well just do mediocre work that's just good enough to not get fired.
If the mediocre band is so big that most people are going to fall into it, then what generally happens is people then work to the expectations rather than try and exceed them. Now, if you narrowed that mediocre band and made it a V curve instead of a bell curve or a straight line where you could rank good, bad, whatever, people would go, okay, I want to get up the line or up the ladder. Then there's an incentive to work harder. But as soon as you do the bell curve and that gap from here down is mediocre, people go, right, then if I'm going to be mediocre,
That's right.
I'm going to be damn well mediocre.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I remember when I was working at the bank, I was on relief staff, and every relief you did, you got rated and all this by the supervisor at the place. And there was one lady, and we'll always get like satisfactory, and so you go to her, why? What have I got to do to get more than satisfactory? She has nothing. I don't mark anyone higher than satisfactory.
Yeah.
So next
She's
time,
just a bitter old cow.
Yeah, next time I went, I'll give a satisfactory performance.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
one hour morning tea, 2 hour lunches.
Yeah, well, that's not that, but you just don't go the extra mile. You know, like
can you fix my computer in 1 hour? Well, I could, but I don't have any incentive, so you'll get it tomorrow.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm going home.
Now, Mr. Popularity is coming to Australia. Satya Nadella. Next, when is he coming? Oh, it doesn't say. Soon. No, his exact itinerary is not known. However, the trip is expected to be a flying one. I don't know what a flying trip is, but must be like a, quick one, during which he hopes to address a developer event in Sydney with several Microsoft clients and pay Melbourne a visit. He wants to inspire developers working on Microsoft Azure cloud platform.
Developers.
Yeah, he wants to inspire them. Has Tim Cook ever been to Australia? Does anyone know? Eric, do you know? Oh, Eric's
He's
not there.
so disgusted by you, he gave up.
He
doesn't want to talk about Microsoft anymore. Thank you very much.
Look at that.
You've upset him now.
Yeah, so he's gone. He'll be back. He must have gone to get a drink. All right. I don't know. Would you reckon how do you reckon these guys, CEOs of Microsoft and Apple, Jace, how do you reckon they get around? Like first class, their own plane?
Private jet.
What do you reckon?
Private jet.
Their own jet?
Private jet.
Yeah, right. It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Don't travel with the plebs.
No, private jet.
You can
That's
write
nice.
it all off anyway, so what's the point?
Yes.
I think it'd be quite inspiring, to have him come over and actually talk to the developers. A lot of the problem with things like this and companies is that the CEO's over there, Americanized, doing his thing in that country over there. We're just some people they probably don't even care about or even know that we exist. So But you have him come over. You're like, look, guys, I want to chat. Here's some ideas that we've got for the future. You're the developers who make the products for our platform. So what do you think about this? Does this inspire you? And what do you think you can make with it? And, give us some ideas about what you think about it. And
Yeah.
I think it's great inspiration.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what also, obviously he goes around the US and stores, he probably goes around other stores and other countries as well, and this is just probably what helps him, it keeps his popularity up within the organisation.
Well, he listens to people, because he's got to realise that there are good ideas out there by people who don't actually work in head office.
Well, that's right. That's
now,
right.
maybe Timmy Cook should walk around a little bit more and listen to other people, not just listen. He tends to have this little inner circle. He won't listen to anyone else. We've seen the results of that.
Yeah, Satya's done a good job. They had
stop trying to be the rock star and be the manager.
In Microsoft, they had all these different silos of business units, and they thought it was a great idea to pit them against each other. So the people who are doing Office hated the people who are doing Windows, and the people who are doing Windows hate the people who do the mobile stuff. And they're all trying to outdo each other instead of working together. Now Satya's there. You're like, look, we're all one company. We're all one group. We want to do the best for the company. Everybody does. And
everyone gets paid better, not just one group.
And you're like, okay, we have this Office product, and the mobile guys are like, well, you should put it on the iPad. And he's like, why? Because it's the biggest seller at the moment. So they're like, beauty, great idea. Done. From now on, we're going to develop mobile Office on iPad first. It'll get all the best features. Once we've got that out, we'll do Android, and then we'll look at Windows because it's the least number of phones out there.
And even
popularity, sales, subscriptions go up. People want to get
went through the roof
and pay monthly fees for Office where they had to pay once. They're happy with it.
Yep. Yeah. It went crazy. And Apple was like that in the beginning as well. When Steve Jobs was there the first time, the Macintosh people hated the other group, even though they're working on the same software. The design group that do the Macintoshes hated the other guys. But I think he got rid of all of that.
I think Nadella was also, I'm pretty sure he's responsible for the, devices under 10-inch screen can have free Windows. Yeah. So I think he was responsible for that as well. And so
sell the cloud and the storage and stuff, and the fact that you get it on your iPad, it'll be the same thing that you get on your laptop. It'll be the same thing you get on your Android phone. They all just sync together, and it works straight across all the platforms.
Yeah, I agree. The funny thing is, he was later to the game than Apple were, because Apple had the iCloud, he had the Pages and all this sort of stuff. No one uses it. Right, and Microsoft were later to the game than that, because I think they came out with that in 2008, and it didn't take off. iCloud was a disaster. Then Mobile Me, then they had to rename it to iCloud. It was a disaster. It didn't work. It was slow. It was buggy. Then Microsoft came along. They were in the game for probably a year, and everyone decided, well, I'm going to do that.
Yep.
Even Apple people were using the Microsoft Cloud and the Microsoft Collaboration software, and to this date you cannot look Google Docs, for example. I can write here now, and Glenn will see me writing a swear word, just say whatever on Google Docs. And I'm pretty sure you can do that on Microsoft as well, and I know you can with OneNote. I haven't tried it with Word yet, but I think you can.
I think so.
Probably 365.
Yeah.
But that was the same app. Steve Jobs and Apple were the first with the GUIs. Microsoft played catch-up, took over. They were the first with the cloud. Microsoft caught up and took over. They were the first with Siri. Now Cortana and Google Assistant are going straight ahead, and Siri's like, hey, we used to do that. We can put that back in, and you guys will like it.
The funny thing was, you're right, it is exactly what happened when Steve Jobs was there the first time. He kept putting things out, and the execution was not very good, and Microsoft would do it better. When he came back the second time, it flipped. They did everything better than everybody else. They took their ideas and made it better. Soon as he died, it's gone back now to Tim Cook being what Steve Jobs was 30 years ago.
Back there, yeah.
Right? It's gone backwards. And he's not... Because to this date, they've not they've not spent any money on Pages or the iCloud and all their software that you can get on the cloud like Office 365, you still can't collaborate on a document. I cannot write at the same time as Glenn on a document using iCloud Pages.
Yeah, I think you can.
How ridiculous is that in this day and age?
I think
don't
you
think
can.
mate.
Hey?
Well,
Yeah,
if you can, it's been very recent.
Yeah, I think you can. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can.
Well, let me check it.
But anyway, while you're doing that, something else that Apple's this is very Apple-centric, this episode, isn't it? It should have been the Mac Zone. Apple patents. Look, they've done a new patent. Can you believe it? They're patent hungry. But this time, it's not what you think. It's an oversized, they've patented, or whatever you want to call it, an oversized container for filling with dirt and shoving a plant inside. That's right.
Cool.
They've
Very protective, aren't they?
They've patented the pot plant. And it took...
The pot plant holder.
Yes, the thing. I've got a picture here. If you can't see it, but everyone else can. It's 17 designers it took to create it. So it's nothing flash, if you ask me. When Apple set out to revamp its San Francisco store, the brief was to include some small trees, both inside and outside the store. 17 Apple designers in London. Yeah, you can tell they got a surplus of cash. San Francisco.
17, really? 17 designers. My 4-year-old could have done it.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Minutes.
It just looks like just run-of-the-mill ones you get in the shopping centres from the 70s.
Probably could have got it from Bunnings.
Well, you probably could have. It doesn't look nothing flash to me. But anyway, San Francisco, blah, 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 blah. Apple applied to patent the design in February last year, and on Monday this week, the patent number was approved. For those patent geeks, it was number D769148. The planter that is patented in its design is now in other flagship stores, including Regent Street, London. So there you go. They just
November 2013, Apple updated its online iWork for iCloud productivity apps, adding collaboration tools that let users simultaneously edit documents.
Yeah, it's still in beta. I just logged into it now. It says it's in beta.
Because I remember when I was doing the Mac Zone a few times with Michael, it's probably a little while ago now, 6 months or so ago. The collaboration was absolutely terrible on the PC. It was
for Apple. Well, look, yeah. I'm loading in now. It says create, pick a document, right? And it's just a blank document I picked, not a template or anything like that.
Mm.
That was nearly a minute ago, and it's still loading.
Yeah,
Google Docs. I would have finished an essay by now.
I didn't have that sort of issue.
You need the NBN for the Apple one.
Yeah.
I think you need more than the NBN.
Yeah. Look,
there we go. Now it's loaded. It's just rubbish. It's absolute rubbish.
No,
and that's not right, because they were first in the game here, and they had first mover advantage, and they should have kept working on it, but they didn't.
Yeah, but I suppose that happens, doesn't it? Like what's the go with Windows? Is like, have we paid for the last Windows? Like, aren't we not paying for Windows anymore? Like that's it, Windows 10, and now it's just all updates. Who knows?
I don't know.
Subscription model.
Well, that's where you think it's going, but it hasn't yet. But
well, it makes sense.
I got that stupid anniversary edition that took like 45 minutes to install this week.
Oh, yeah. That was
one of my friends just got that as well, and he was at a funeral trying to run the sound system from his Windows laptop, and it goes, hang on, I'm rebooting. It didn't say, can I reboot? It just rebooted and then started doing the install, and after 45 minutes it was finished, so they had to reorder the things that were happening in the funeral, and he had these slideshows that he created. He wanted to show on a big screen of this guy's life and couldn't show it until Windows finished updating.
Oh, dear. All right. What other ones did you have, Jace? Anything else?
Facebook is testing its latest edition in Australia before it's released in the United States, but users are likely to find it exceedingly familiar. Facebook's Messenger's new edition, called Messenger Day, lets users add text, stickers and scribbles to photos and pin them to their profile for 24 hours. But anyone who's used Snapchat, where users can add text, stickers and scribbles to photos and pin them to their profile for 24 hours, is likely to notice a strong resemblance. Facebook Product Manager Director Peter Martinazzi said the social network had been working on versions of Messenger Day for the past 2 years, and the new additions were designed to upgrade conversations by letting your friends and contacts know what you were doing that day. A lot of the pieces of Messenger Day are things we've done for a really long time. We started this work almost 2 years ago, and we rolled out a separate app called Stickers. People loved it, but they really wanted to bring the concept into Messenger. New feature gets top billing on Facebook Messenger's home screen, showing off images shared by your friends, just like Instagram stories. The images can also be shared in individual or group messages with many picture templates designed to encourage social gatherings, like movie dates, drinks, lunches, or road trips. Facebook's addition stops short of mimicking Snapchat's popular facial filters. However, though, you can add virtual stickers to faces.
I don't use Snapchat for sending stuff. I just use it for the filters. And then just...
Well, if you want to get some really good stickers to put on your photos, download Blue Bilby's Halloween sticker pack.
Oh, that's
just
right.
upgraded this week with another 40 stickers, so you get over 60 stickers for Halloween. Isn't that wonderful?
You've been busy.
Yeah.
So, when you if you've already bought them previously, is that like a free upgrade? How does that work? Do you upgrade to an extra 40 stickers?
Yep.
Oh, sweet. That's good. That's good.
Open the app, it'll say there's a new version, or if you got it auto-update, it'll just auto-update, and suddenly all these other stickers appear that weren't there before.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so that's good.
Good man.
So, hello. Hey?
Good man.
Good man.
Yes. Oh, good. Yeah, so where was it? On iTunes. Search for Blue Bilby. All right. Yeah, so Snapchat. Yeah, good on it. Did you see the face? I don't know how long this function's been on Facebook, but you do your profile picture. You can do a little short movie one. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think you did that.
Yeah, I didn't know that you could do that till the other day, so I just did it. What else did you have, Eric? You want to talk about Tim Cook was named?
Just a quick story. Tim Cook was named to Hillary Clinton. Was named. I think that's bad grammar. Was on Hillary Clinton's list of potential vice presidential candidates.
What?
I believe that.
Why?
WikiLeaks has leaked yet another email from Hillary Clinton, from Hillary Clinton presidential campaign chairman John Podesta, that reveals Apple CEO Cookie Monster was among a list of candidates for vice president of the United States, alongside Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, former Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders, and dozens of others.
Yeah, right.
In August, just so happens, Cook hosted a fundraising event for Hillary. No surprises here.
Well, that's the thing.
Carry on. Carry on.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I find it, you've some.
Tell you what, I'd have Bill Gates in that role before I'd have Tim Cook.
Well,
let me tell you that now.
Yeah.
He's more of a statesman than Tim Cook.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Tim Cook would want to be a rock star everywhere he goes. Look at me, I got my shirt undone and halfway down. Hey.
But how can Tim Cook be? This is where to get a bit crazy, don't you think? Like, okay, so
you don't have to run for vice president. You can be chosen.
Yeah,
you don't have to be in government. You don't have to have
you should have some sort of experience.
Yeah, yes,
no, not necessarily.
That as well.
Not necessarily.
But well, okay.
I know they say
not
you
political
don't have
experience.
to, but it would be good if you did.
Yes, but what about
if you're a statesman type person?
Why would you choose someone to be your vice president? Go, okay, do you want to be my vice president, knowing that you held up proceedings and FBI investigations because you wouldn't?
That's why.
Is that why they didn't choose him?
Exactly why.
Oh, really?
You know what they say, mate.
Oh, good.
Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Yeah, you can't.
If you get Timmy Cook on side there, come on, mate. Come on. Come around to my place. Come around to the White House for dinner. We'll have a little chat. No, nothing in particular. Yeah, just bring your iPhone with you. Maybe we'll have a look at it.
No girls, just the guys.
Bring your engineers. Maybe they might want to open it up in front of me. I'll have a couple of my people here, but they'll be just, don't worry about them. They'll be just in the corner. Don't worry about it.
Just don't hack the iPhone because that upsets him.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's right. You can't choose someone like that. So, yeah, anyway. All right. Look, I don't know. I think I'm out of stories. It was not very happening. The only other one I had, look, I know it's pretty boring, but Victoria's Privacy Commissioner warns against profiling job candidates online. So he's come out and he's warned against public service bosses.
Well, how are you going to prove that? What is there? Is it an offence to do that? Is it against the law to do a background check on your potential employees?
Well, I think it's if you don't tell them that you're doing it, yes, can be.
Well, maybe, but at the same time, I think most people know, and they've been telling people this for 10 years. What you do on social media is there for good.
Well, yeah, that's
right. It doesn't disappear on the internet, and they've told you that employers have a right to ask you for your Facebook password, and if they see something on there that they don't like you smoking bongs or lying on the beach smashed with vomit all over you, they have every right to not hire you. And that's been long-standing for years and years and years.
I don't think they have. I don't think they should have the right to ask you for your password.
They're doing it, though.
They do. Well, then some people don't give it and they don't get hired.
Well, then I'd probably rather not get hired. Not that I've got anything to hide.
And that would be your choice.
Yeah.
And that's a choice that we all are allowed to make. We say, well, I don't want to work for a company like that, or I got nothing to hide. Knock yourself out.
So
it's up to the individual.
Yeah, so this is the reason behind all this is...
That's why you have 2 Facebook profiles.
That's right. One with your name and one with your next-door neighbour's name.
Now, so storing this sort of information. So what they're saying is you trawl through your employee's Facebook page and you store it somehow for some reason.
I wouldn't do that. I think that's maybe a bit far.
But maybe they're saying, okay, they're going through the job applications. We're not going to give it to this guy because we found pictures of him smoking bongs. So they've printed the picture out, put it with the application. So
I wouldn't do that.
No,
you'd make a note saying not hired for this reason, but there's no need to start collating information. I think that probably goes a bit too far.
But do you think that? But see, this is where it gets a bit crazy as well. Like, do you think if you're the boss, if you're the employee, would you rather a potential employer say to you, listen, we've looked up on your Facebook page, we've seen you smoking bongs, so what do you got to say about that? So they're giving you the right...
Yes. You give the right of reply, I agree.
But
give the right of reply.
If the employer has...
say, look,
if the employer has logged into your Facebook page without asking you for this explicit authority to do so, then the employee...
Well,
the employer will just tell you that you're not hired, as you just said, for some other stupid reason, which is not helpful.
We've gone in a different direction. The usual shoves that they give you.
Yeah, it's the same as like
a lot of people have public Facebook pages. You don't even need to ask them for their passwords.
But it's like,
but you're right. They should be getting a right of reply. Say, look, come and have a chat. I need to talk to you about this. We saw this. Blah blah blah. Our normal probation period is 3 months. We like you. We think you're talented. You've got all the right qualifications and skills. However, your probation is 1 month based on what we've seen, and we don't want any malarkey from you. And if you pass that 1 month or whatever, they probably extend it to 6 months rather than 1 month. They
can also do drug testing.
Oh, they do. That's right. If you shorten the probation, it means he's going to be a full-time employee in a shorter period of time. So what I'm really saying is it'll go from 3 months to 6 months. So they can sack him without cause anytime in the first 6 months. So someone with a little bit of a sketchy history, they might extend his probation, but they like him. And they might say, look, I'm going to give you a chance, but you've got to behave yourself. And your probation's doubled 6 months. And he might go, you know what, someone's giving me a go, and I'm willing to, clean my act up, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And if they say that we saw photos of you with bongs, you say, wrong. And if you don't get the job, you say, well, it was rigged against me anyway. It was rigged.
That's right.
Someone planted them there.
Wrong.
Wrong. But but I don't know. Just end up. Look, I might be in the minority, but if the employee wants a skinny person for the job, you roll in. You're a fat person, and they say you don't get the job because you're fat. The employer's in trouble. I think you'd rather know you didn't get the job because you were fat. Wouldn't you? You've rather
got to know the reason.
Wouldn't you rather know that?
You've got to know the reason
instead of them giving you some baluka.
It might offend you. And suddenly you're under the 18C. Oh my God, I'm offended. I'm going to sue somebody. But if you know whether it's a weight thing or you can't go into an interview chewing gum and picking your nose. You don't turn up at an interview with a pair of thongs on and pick your nails while I'm trying to talk to you. If you know what went wrong, so that you can present yourself better at the next one at another company.
Yeah,
doesn't that help the potential
process.
employee
I've
more?
never had anyone tell me why I didn't get a job. They just send out the standard form letter that says,
"That's right.
Hi, unfortunately, you were not the one that we picked.
You were not selected on this occasion."
I did.
Well, what other occasion is there going to be? Yes, there you go.
I was
keep you on file in the bin.
I was looking through Seek once, the online job hunting thing. I was not too long ago, just seeing what was out there, and I saw one there, and I thought, another problem is they don't tell you how much these jobs are worth, so you got to actually go and make a phone call.
You got to waste your time.
Yeah, I know.
So how much is it worth?
The problem is that 60 to 70% of the jobs advertised there are recruiters making up fake jobs so that they can get resumes and fatten their resume.
They fatten up their database.
There's no actual job.
If something comes along, they've got someone.
Well, I got a tip.
They could say, sorry, you weren't picked, but there was no actual job. They just want resumes.
But I got a tip. If anyone's looking through that and you want to know what the job pays, you can sort of find out a little bit, because in your search inquiry, you put in you only want to see jobs between, I don't know, 60 and 70,000. Then whatever's, without it saying what the price is, what the remuneration is.
Because they put that information at the back end.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, so one of these jobs, right? I must have accidentally pushed apply, and I because I went. Yeah, so I pushed apply or whatever. Okay, so I thought nothing of it. Just didn't go from there. Backed out of it, and then like 2 weeks later, I get the letter. Thanks for your application. Although you spent a lot of time and did a lot of work, blah blah blah. We'll keep you. We'll keep you on file for next time. I went, oh, that's nice.
That's what I did when I moved to Melbourne. I made a very generic resume and generic cover letter, and opened up like 20 tabs and just went apply. There you go, 20. Now you can go to Centrelink. Hey, I applied for 20 jobs. Yeah, cool.
Oh,
well, you did. That's the thing. You did apply for 20 jobs.
Yeah.
The worst experience I had, which was a little bit demoralising at the time, but I don't get demoralised for more than a couple of seconds, was when I first finished uni, because I went to university late, right? From 18 to 25, I was working. I had a great time. It was party time. I had a fun time. And at 25, I went to university. By the time I finished university, I was 29. And so I'm competing with graduates who are 21, right? So I went to this recruitment agency, and these guys did have, proper jobs, because they were saying who it was with. And I don't think you're allowed to do that unless there's a real job. So I went there, and my academic results were good. I had work experience doing that sort of work while I was at uni, part-time. I used to work 2 days a week at this place. I said, okay, that's fine. Instead of telling me, I don't think she knew what to tell me.
Yeah.
And she could have just said, look, we'll keep in touch, or we'll see how we go. I'll let you know. Nothing, right? She's quite a nasty person. I can't remember her name now, but if I see her, I'd slap her one. She said to me, as I was walking out, and this was in the foyer, in front of a few other people waiting to go into interviews with other people. I shook her hand. I said, thank you very much for seeing me, because I was in there for a while, about 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is going well. Shook her hand, and she said to me, I said, nice to meet you. I said, oh, nice to meet you. Thank you for your time. She said, you're not going to make it.
Oh.
Straight up. I said, what do you, excuse me? And she says, you're wasting your time applying for accounting jobs. You're not going to make it. You're not good enough.
Right. Nice.
That's a shame.
I'm serious. Right?
You'll never be an accountant.
Yeah. I bet you I live in a nicer house than that bitch does. Cut, edit point.
That's all right.
Anyway, that shook me up a little bit. And I sort of, went home with a tail between my legs a little bit. And I thought about that, and I thought, no, hang on a minute. No, I'm not gonna let someone like that, one person, define who I am.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was, Jesus, how old am I now? That was 22 years ago.
Oh, she's probably dead anyway.
I hope so.
Yeah, so you didn't go back to her and ask why did you say that? Did you give a reason, or just said you're just wasting your time?
No, her reason was she probably thought I was too old, but you're not allowed to say that.
Mm.
You know, you're competing with other graduates. But the funny thing is now, right, for example, in this day and age, a 30-year-old graduate competing with a 21-year-old is not a big deal.
Mm.
No.
Right? They'll look at you and go, I don't care how old you are. If you are good with people, you know your stuff, who gives a rat's ass how old you are? But back then
Unless
it was
you're 60.
Unless you're 60, in which case you might be overqualified or you don't have the energy or whatever you want to call it, right?
Mm.
But generally, you know, that 5 or 10 year age gap doesn't make it's not a big deal anymore. You know, I've got people in my uni class who are switching careers. They're studying law after doing other things. They're studying law now, and they're in their mid-30s, and they've got big law firms hiring them as interns.
Right.
You know, summer jobs and all this sort of stuff. And they don't care about your age.
Well, they're probably
They don't care because
these people are probably a little bit more mature. They're probably not out on the town.
that's right.
You know?
That's what they're looking at. They're saying, you've got experience and you've got good, because they're all degree qualified in their previous lives. Some might be engineers. One guy was a chemist. There was another guy there that was what was he? God, I can't remember now, but it was, you know, quite a big deal. He was, you know, degree architect, I think, you know, all degree qualified, lots of experience, had a project management deal with people, all that sort of stuff. So that's what they're looking at. So, well, you've got experience in the real world, and there's less we have to teach you. We just have got to teach you how we work in this office, rather than teach you from scratch how to be a human being.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Right,
right.
which you have to do generally at 21. You know, wet behind the ears. No, you can't do that in, you know, this office. That's policies. You know, it's this constant.
Yeah.
They're all very malleable at 21.
Mm.
They don't really know what they're doing. But back when I was looking for a job, they looked at experience as, oh, we don't care about that. We just want top 10 academic results at your university, and we don't care if you can't deal with people. Because that's not their fault. That's not the recruiter's fault. That's what the firms wanted.
But
The
accountants,
firms just wanted the accounting firms, the big 4 or the big 6 as it was back then, they just wanted grades. They didn't care that you didn't have a personality.
no. Well, accountants
They
aren't
didn't
known
care
for
that
their
you walked into a
personalities.
room. What's that?
Accountants aren't known for their
that's why.
personalities.
Well, this is why. But see, when you're working for the big firms, you're dealing with people on a daily basis. You've got to have a personality.
That's
This is what
right.
they don't realise. You are dealing with people every day. You know, your clients.
Well, I remember
Without your clients, you don't have a job.
in one of my previous jobs, I remember there was this guy. We'll wrap it up after this. But I remember there was this guy, and it was like the sort of job. It was a government job. I won't say where it was or anything, but you know, it was up on like level, I don't know, 10, 12 or something of this building, and he's always in trouble. He used to have a laugh in the office, you know. He'd loud sort of a guy, you know. He'd play in the roundabouts in the local, you know, theatres and all this. So he was a nice guy. He had a big laugh, a big voice, blah blah blah. You know, real nice guy. And but he always got in trouble. You know, he's always, you can't do this, you're too loud, you're doing this, you can't do this, you can't do this, and you can't have a laugh here, you can't have a laugh there, this guy's offended, you know, all this sort of rubbish. Anyway, so it was starting to get serious, so the big boss took him downstairs for coffee, you know, laid it out on the line again for him. And so anyways, coming back up into the lift, and then he walks out of the lift, and he stops. And he looks around and back into the empty lift, and he goes, I'll see you then, I'll see you at 3 o'clock, to the empty lift. And the big boss goes, what are you talking to? And he goes, oh, I'm just saying goodbye to my personality. I'll see him later today when I'm finished. And that's what he did. And, you know, and then
look,
he was
that's how,
deadpan.
it was probably around the time, you know, when I was. It just completely threw me.
And
it wasn't until I got a job where I met my wife. She was working there, that the lead partner, the managing partner, called me into his office one day. I was been there about a month. I thought, I'm in trouble here. And he walked me in, and he said, righto, Eric, young man, said, tell me what accounting's about. And I started raving on about bloody technical stuff, blah, and he goes, shut up and stop there. He said, accounting's got nothing to do with what you just told me, and you're going to learn this, and it's the best lesson I ever learned. He said, you're going to learn this at this office for as long as you want to be here, because I reckon you're good. He said, accounting is about people.
Every job's about people.
The quicker you learn that, the quicker you learn that, especially in the public practice, the quicker you learn that, the further you're going to go.
Yeah.
And to anyone that's listening here now, and that relates to any job you do.
Oh, that's right.
If someone says, what's science about? What's architecture about? Don't start talking about buildings. Architecture's about people, your clients.
Like, I go out on a few jobs here and there, and people go, they say to you, we're so happy with you. I go, oh, that's good, thanks. And they go, oh, yeah, the last guy that come out didn't say nothing. And, and then someone else will say, oh, he didn't. He just sat there and talked, gobbledygook, and I didn't know what he was doing. He just rushed around, we don't know what's
jargon.
going on.
They try and baffle you with rubbish,
But anyway, all right. Okay, good stuff. All right, you finished?
Aussie Careers Expo. There you go.
Yeah. Jace, did you have any more?
I think that'll probably do for the night.
All right, so have you got links? You're going to share those with the show notes?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I think all the show notes, including Eric's, yay, they're going to be up on the webpage at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast. Don't forget the other shows, Aussie Mac Zone, the Obsidian Loft, Old Fart Geeks, and Aussie Tech Security. So that was we did an in-depth one last week on ransomware and how to try and avoid it for your home and office. So have a listen to that. Look, ransomware's, yes, that's getting pretty bad, isn't it? There's AGL emails around, and just all trying to scam you. So yeah, watch out.
A couple of Amazon ones are floating around as well, and Australia Post, the usual.
Yeah, usual. Yeah,
and I got a nice one from Nigeria the other day.
Oh yeah, nice. Like I even get emails from
not the prince again.
Yeah, I know. He's got so much money he wants to give away.
I even get emails from mum and dad, and it's just like, oh, watch this. This is funny, and you think, well, it probably is from them. You can see the email line has gone through their friends, but there's nothing really there. You just go, I'm not even going to open it. I don't care. Yeah. Funny or not.
That's right.
Don't care. All right. Good stuff. All right. That'll do us for another week. Look, a bit light on, but hopefully the band has entertained you for the last hour or so. All right. So thanks, Eric and Warlock, for coming in. Great to have you guys again.
Great to be here again.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you guys next week for the recording next Thursday. Now, the live show's only going out on Facebook when Will's all better or whatever from moving and whatever he's doing and got internet and all this sort of stuff. Facebook likes a fast upload. And even though I'm on cable, I can only dish up about 2.5, and that's not fast enough. But I'm going to do another test just in case they've changed it. I'll think about looking at other platforms. The Ustream platform didn't really work too well. Too many ads for people trying to watch it. The YouTube platform, that worked. A lot of mucking around just to get it to stream at the start of each show. So, but we'll get there. And Eric shared with me an NBN, document from last week, which, Robina, Queensland. Yeah, baby, next year.
Yeah, you're going to get it before me. I'm going to be the last one on the line.
Probably.
Yeah. Except if I'm lucky, they will say, look, you're not getting NBN, but how would you like to be part of the trial to do 1 gigabit up and down? I say, yes, please.
Yes, that'd be good. All right.
That's what I'm
Only
hoping
if
for.
Google comes here and does it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I get a free phone? All right. Now,
give me a Pixel.
Yes, great stuff.
Get a Galaxy 7.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it. Hold that thought. And we'll see you guys next week on the podcast. Catch us on YouTube if you want to see Eric's antics. Okay. See ya. Bye.